fire.
I'm having this lovely, quiet moment to be able to consider my Celtic heart and my pagan roots run deep, very deep. Deep and wide and powerful enough to triumph over my very Baptist upbringing. But there were jewels in that Baptist upbringing. And today I'm thinking about a verse in the New Testament that said, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." That verse has always stayed with me, and it's never meant more to me than now, when I have found myself for the past month in a beautiful land that speaks to my soul, and I haven't been able to enjoy it a whole lot. I've been worried. I've been troubled. I've been afraid. And all the myriad of, colors of that fear, like a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty about our future, how will our careers, how we'll pay for a dream that seems way bigger than me, way bigger than us, way bigger than my 25-year trajectory to bring that dream to life, and feeling very, 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 very small in the presence of its bigness. And then I feel guilty, because at the very least I should be able to enjoy. I've been given this gift and this privilege to be here. I paid dearly to follow this dream. It cost way more than money, and it cost money that is precious, that we don't have an excess of. And so, of course, there's no guaranteed outcome, but the one thing I could do that's in my control is to enjoy it, and I haven't been. I'm guilty of that. And I realize and have compassion for the very frightened young child in me. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know a lot of you are right smack dab in the middle of uncertainty, and it is painful, and it is distracting. It distracts you from the meaning at the heart, at the pulse of your life. The meaning at the pulse of your life is what do you love, and what brings you joy, and what causes you wonder, and seek those things. That reminds me of another Bible verse about seeking what is beautiful and what is lovely. That if you seek those things, you find your way. And I've been really grateful for the people in my life who have reminded me, and I mean to mind again over and over, to transform your mind over and over by bringing yourself into new perspective, into aligned perspective about who you really are, not your circumstances, not your temporary state of health or wealth or beingness, but your core, not your circumstances. That, to bring your mind there, that causes your transformation. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the way that played out today was being willing to ditch the plans. We had plans where we were going and what we were doing, and we found certain things closed and certain roads closed and certain ways not open to us. And then almost by accident, we stumbled on this beautiful green, gnarled tree, moss and lichen covered road that looks straight out of a fairy tale. And I said, well, I don't even care if we get to where we think we're going. This is the reward. And that's what put me in mind of that teaching from Abraham, that it's the journey, that we do this for the journey, that the dog hangs its head out the window for the joy of it. Not with any reason, not with any thought form, but just the pure exhilaration. And this is why we must remind over and over again. We must be reminded that we're on a journey. Some portions of that journey are going to suck, but what we have control over is what we do in the middle of that suck. Sometimes you're on your knees and there is nowhere else to go but your face on the floor. I've been there many times, and I'm not actually talking about that moment. I'm talking about all the other moments that are lost to us, that just drizzle down the drain. They're gone forever because our mind was in our circumstances and not in our core, not in our depth, not in who we really are. So I'm letting this moment remind me. I'm letting this moment transform me by choosing a different perspective right in the middle of all the things I can't control. And I know that there are people out there with far harder circumstances than what I'm up against right now, but I can tell you I've been in those circumstances, a lot of them, not all of them. And the choice was mine at that moment, as it is right now, as it will be in the next moment that might be harder, as it will be in the next moment that might be easier. The choice is, what mind are you going to let be alive in the center of the circumstances? Is it going to be dictated? Is the choice going to be dictated by the suck ass of the circumstance? Or are you going to tap into the rootstock of you, which is, it's eternal, it's beautiful, it's as old, it's older than this cairn behind me. It's resonant. It has its life force under the ground. Even if the tree gets knocked over, the field gets burnt, your rootstock is under the ground. There is life force there, pulsing and brimming with possibility and regeneration, transformation. We get to choose to align with that, or we get to choose to align with our limitation, the limitation our circumstances dictate. And I'm urging you, and I'm urging myself to choose the rootstock, the truth of who we really are, to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Align. Choose you this day who you will serve. Your circumstances